Hello, welcome to Po Boy. Today we're going to be talking about Minecraft. Looking at the alpha version. We're going into beta in a couple of days, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But this is a game that's been taking the internet, a Java game that's been taking the internet by storm. It's by a bloke called Notch from up in the north of the world there, so entire opposite side of me. One thing that I really like about it that no one else seems to care about, but then they haven't really played with it, is the 3D anaglyph mode, which is, if you remember those weird little one side's red and one side's blue, or cyan, they are essentially... Oh, there we go. We're building the world, but it's essentially 3D, and you get to sit there and you get to look at things in 3D, and I find it hilariously fun. It's like a blocky version of Avatar, and as you can see, we're looking at it. It's very blocky. Dear Lord! And each world is randomly generated. It's about 8 times the size of the planet Earth. If you take each of these blocks as a 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 square. Now, one thing that I really find, oh my god, I'm on an island, great about Minecraft is... Oh, it's not. Sorry about that, just that thing there is actually some reeds or a cactus, but if anyone's ever played Minecraft before, the bane of every Minecraftian's existence is a thing that looks suspiciously like that. It's sort of tall, green, penis-shaped, and happens to be called a creeper. And you will not see them coming. You will hear them hiss, and then everything around you will explode, and you will die. So nobody likes them. But essentially Minecraft, what you do is, as the name suggests, you mine and you craft. In order to craft, you need a bunch of these bits of wood. Now, you can play the classic version of this game for free on the website, minecraft.net, but that's more for people who just like building. If you're a big fan of doing pixel art or something like that, that's probably the one for you, because you don't have to deal with all the pigs and the duck chickens and all the rest of it. But for people like me who enjoy the role-playing side of things, this is probably the version for you. Now, the first thing you'll need is a lot of wood in order to build whatever it is you want to build. So we'll skip through the we'll speed everything up a little bit and show you that. So essentially what we're going to be doing now that we've grabbed enough wood is that we're going to be building ourselves a basic shelter. Now, the wonderful thing about basic shelters is that they're great for many reasons. For a start, they're better than a hole in the ground. The first time I ever played Minecraft, I was running around punching trees, having an absolute brilliant time, and then next thing I know, it's dark, and there are things, and they're trying to kill me, and I died, and I ended up having to bury myself in a grave and hide until daylight. It was fairly excruciatingly disturbing. So, of course, I've learned a lot since then. I figured out what to do with all those trees I was punching, and so what we're seeing here is a very humble cottage compared to some of the things that you'll get up to later on. It's only a double-story thing, with maybe a jacuzzi in there at some point, maybe not. Essentially, I like to try and keep an element of realism in there, so that in my little cottages you've got a little bit of a level up the top for living in, and then the spot down the bottom is where you store all your stuff. So you've got like a staircase leading up, and that's essentially what I'm going to be building. Another great thing about run around punch trees craft is, of course, as I said before, you can hide from monsters in the lovely little spots here, which is sort of what you want, is a place for monsters to be able to get into. Now, the front there is a little bit big, so what I'm going to do is just get some of these bits of dirt and block it up. Now, of course, that later becomes glass. Now, one great thing... That was a spider. Giant spider. Funnily enough, also an anagram of trained pigs. Don't ask me why I know that. I just do. Now, once you've built your main shelter, as I've done there, we've skipped forward a bit, and as you can see, it's got the dual layer thing going on there. You can start work on something slightly more grandiose. What I'm going to be doing here is a bit of a tower. Now, another wonderful thing about building these other little ones is that you can either set fire to it when you get angry, or by mistake, or as you do, if you do what I'm doing right now, if you were to replace it with something better. So essentially, you can burn it to the ground, which is always fun when your friends are watching and you didn't mean to do it, and they just stand there laughing as you race from the pool to the house as it slowly burns to the ground. And speaking of friends watching, of course, that leads to online multiplayer. Now, one thing about multiplayer, the way it goes, is that I always, whenever I played these online multiplayer games, like WoW, for instance, what I wanted to get out of it was this game where I could do what I wanted. I could roleplay, I could go about and do quests and all the rest of it, and I could interact with other people if I wanted to, but I didn't have to. And that's the problem with WoW, was that it sort of made you interact with people after a certain point, whereas this one doesn't. This one lets you not. Okay, now that I was mentioning before earlier when I thought I saw a creeper. That was a creeper. Creepers are what would have happened if Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, and Jet Li all had sort of come together and had a baby, and it came out green and penis-shaped and spiteful. I mentioned before, it is anyone who plays Minecraft very, very early on learns to hate these guys. Other mobs will kill you dead. Just you're dead. That is acceptable. But creepers not only kill you, they blow your stuff up. Now, when this is fine, when you first start out and you only have a little hut and you're wearing banana leaves for armor, that's great. But when you have, say, a gigantic monolithic pixel art version of your girlfriend's face and are living in her left nostril, then this absolute and utter bastard comes and blows her chin off. It might look better depending on your girlfriend, but all of those hours of work building that are now wasted. And now, well, I guess what we have here is, I guess you could call it the finished product, but in my mind, it's not the finished product, because it is, in essence, it's a castle. It's there's a portal to hell. It's a castle. It is the beginning for me of role playing. It's the start of where I've now built something that I'm happy with. I'm safe in. I can lock people up in, and this is where the game almost begins for me. This is where you can go out and you can take on the role of a lord of a castle and rule your lands, or be a peasant farmer and have the castle up here doing things. But if you're more into the building of giant monolithic things, which I enjoy, but I find them to be a means to an end, other people find them to be an end in and of themselves. So they do stuff like that. But if you don't want to be doing medieval style things, you can do other things. Other friends of mine build things like this biodime. A friend of mine was a humble space pirate, she decided to be. Another pair of friends put together a large death arena, complete with monster spawners to fight against, and they beat each other up. Other people built labyrinths and then lured friends into it to get lost. The great thing about Minecraft is that it is insanely open-ended. It can do whatever it is you want it to do.